Very much. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to speak to Jackie Dean's bill, and I want to acknowledge the contribution of the member for Taupo, Louise Upston, earlier. It was a respectful contribution, and respectful contributions will always be greeted respectfully. I do understand the issues that Louise Upston raised with respect to tourism areas, and they have been raised frequently in the context of the shop trading hours bills that have been put forward from time to time. Jackie Dean and I came into Parliament in the same year, and we served on the Commerce Select Committee for the first couple of years of our first term, and this issue was raised not only by her but also by Steve Chadwick on behalf of the people in Rotorua as well. And we tried, under the chairpersonship of Catherine Rich at that time, we tried to make some sense of the legislation, because if anything is a dog's breakfast in our legislative statutes, the shop trading hours legislation is a dog's breakfast. As the Green member mentioned a moment ago, there are a range of things that are available and a range of things that are not on any particular public holiday. And so we struggled for some time on that select committee in 2006 and 2007 to get some consistency. And one of the ways that we thought of getting some consistency, which then members of Parliament could, according to their own consciences, vote up or down, was by adding to the schedule every single territorial authority in the country, so that every territorial authority could then decide whether it was in the interests of their people and their businesses whether or not they opened on public holidays. And I thought that was quite an elegant solution, and it put it back to local authorities so that they could then determine how things would work best in their area. But unfortunately, this bill doesn't advance us anywhere with shop trading hours and the mishmash that it currently is. And I want to give one example. I'm familiar with the countryside that the member represents. I'm not familiar with exactly the streets that the boundary goes down. But if I give the example of Nelson, the Nelson City Council and the Tasman District Council sit side by side. In fact, they sit so side by side that their boundary is the middle of Champion Road. On the one side of Champion Road is Nelson City Council, on the other side of Champion Road is Tasman District Council. Is there anywhere in the members' electorate where on one side of the electorate boundary, part of the Central Otago District Council will have shops and businesses, and on the other side of the members' electorate boundary, Central Otago District Council will have shops and businesses? On one side they'll be allowed to open, and on the other side they won't. So confining this to the boundary of the electorate, which is what the general policy statement at the front of the bill says, doesn't help the situation. The purpose of the bill, it says, is to allow all retailers within districts covered by the Waitaki electorate to trade on Good Friday and Easter Sunday. And I suspect, although I don't know for sure, and I'd be interested if the member would address this point, that there would be shops on different sides of roads that are separated by boundaries, by the electorate boundary. And that's one of the difficulties that we face in trying to get some consistency in this area around shop trading. There are all sorts of other objections which my colleagues have raised also, whether it's worker protections, family time, religious observances. All of those are quite legitimate reasons for people to choose to vote for or against it. But I have to say, Mr. Speaker, to the member who has brought this bill to the House in good faith, trying to represent issues of concern within her electorate, that it doesn't help improve the dog's breakfast that are the shop trading hours regulations and laws. It makes it a dog's breakfast plus one. And for that reason, and because I'm inherently very pragmatic about these things, I will vote against it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I call Sua Williams-Seo.
Thank you, Mr.